The young master returns to the car, and upon their arrival at the school's entrance, the students are left bewildered, wondering about the unusual spectacle unfolding before them. The uncles create a path for Jian to walk through, bowing to him in reverence, leaving the students in shock as they discover his association with the gangster world. Zhang Xia praised him for his dramatic entrance, and Li Ji joined them as they walked together. The principal called a meeting where they deliberated on what to do with Zhang, all sharing a common fear that he hailed from a family with ties to gangsters. The principal shocked the rest of the teachers by deciding to transfer him to another school. Meanwhile, in another part of the story, we were introduced to Wang Dahaian, the third-year student council president, who was both surprised and suspicious of Jian upon learning that he was the son of a gangster. Hong Jiang walked into his classroom only to be greeted with curses from one of his classmates, while the rest of the students began gossiping about him. He grew increasingly concerned that his entire class had turned against him. Fleeing from the classroom, he bumped into some of his friends who, to his dismay, also ignored him. His childhood friends berated him, accusing him of hiding the fact that he was the son of a gangster. One of his friends expressed frustration that Jian hadn't confided in him, and this triggered a flashback to 10 years ago when Jian had made the decision to keep his family's background a secret. Even though 10 years had passed, he had never revealed the truth to his friend. When they saw Li Yiji and Song Jiang-sok approaching them, they said to Kang Jiang, "Here are your friends, the bully Li Yeji and the top fighter Song Jiang-sok." Jiang broke down, seeking solace in the fresh air outside. Song Jok attempted to console him, but Li Ji noted that he was not acting like himself. He then questioned why Li Ji could smoke to feel better while he couldn't. She threw her cigarette down in anger as she stopped smoking. Jian began to realize that people were treating him unfairly solely because he was the son of a gangster, even though he had always acted kindly towards everyone. He was taken aback by how everyone had turned against him. A phone call from the student council president prompted him to meet on the school rooftop. The president inquired if he was the son of a gangster, and Zhang questioned the significance of this information. The president explained that it could affect the school's atmosphere and potentially spread to other schools, remarking that this situation was unlike Jian. This remark made Jian tense up, and he hit the wall before walking away. Meanwhile, Xin Zhangqiu continued to endure the beatings from the uncles and was advised to drop out of school. He contemplated revenge and considered Zhang's weaknesses, recalling his childhood friend Sujin. As Zhang Xiak roamed the school, he noticed Zhang Yun sitting on a bench and mentioned how Zhang was struggling because the entire school had turned against him. He encouraged his friend not to fear Jian, as he was a nice guy and only afraid of his uncles. His friend realized he had been too emotional toward Jian earlier and decided to find him and apologize. Back in class, two students, Zhang Jie and Seongdi, entered, looking for Jian to talk to him. Since he wasn't there, they left and encountered Zhang Silk, causing one of them to panic. Meanwhile, Sujin searched for Shin Zion Chili, noticing his beaten state and wondering what had happened. He explained that Zhang was responsible, and she asked if Zhang had any weaknesses. After some thought, she realized that she was his weakness and smirked, knowing she could use that to her advantage. They walked together to his home, and Sujin asked if they were dating again, to which he responded affirmatively. As they entered his apartment, their intentions were quite clear. Li Yiji's friends inquired if she was dating Jian, and she clarified that they weren't but admitted she liked him, not because he was a gangster. Suddenly, the two students previously mentioned approached them, asking if they knew where Jian was. Jian appeared behind them, surprising them since they remembered him as a total loser. They attempted to greet him, but he ignored their handshakes with a cold expression. Jian asked if they were friends with Shin Zhangqiu, and they confirmed it. When he shook their hands, he crushed their grips, causing them to drop to their knees in pain. As they fled, Li Yiji watched, and her reaction indicated she was intrigued by what she had witnessed. He then asked Li Yeji for assistance in informing all the school's bullies that he intended to confront and defeat them. As Sujin and Shin Jianqiu returned to school, the two beaten students revealed that they had been defeated by Jian alone, surprising Shin Guyang Chio. He contemplated seeking assistance from Du Park to gather as many bullies as possible to confront the gangsters. Meanwhile, Lee Yeji began sharing details about the bullies' alliance with neighboring schools. She started with the top guy in their school, Du Park, who happened to be friends with Jong Sok. She also revealed that Du Park was her older brother. The group of bullies led by Shin Guyang Chil consisted of 11 individuals, and they were part of the Super Alliance, an alliance formed by other schools, which comprised over 100 members. Jong made a decision to prioritize unity within his school rather than solely focusing on defeating every bully to establish his reputation as the toughest. The third-year council president asked Du Park if he had any information about Jian, but Du Park had no insights. Shin Guyang Chil encountered Du Park, who was visibly agitated by his bruised face. As Du Park removed his cap and laughed, they discussed their plans regarding Zhang and also mentioned Zhang Siak. Du Park expressed that Shin Zion Chili was more important to him than Zhang Siak. Their plan involved bringing Zhang Siak into the gymnasium for a one-on-one fight, with the other bullies prepared to jump in to assist him. Du Park informed the rest of the bullies about this plan before they put it into action. As Jian and Lee Yi-jae returned to class, John Yoon awaited them, and they reconciled, becoming friends again. After school, they all went to Jian's house together. However, one of Jian's uncles mentioned that he had special training and wouldn't be able to attend school for a few days, so they bid him farewell. The next day, as Zhang Siak entered the classroom to sleep, Shin Zion Chil initiated their plan by slapping him while he was sleeping, shocking the entire class. They ordered him to come to the gymnasium, and he fled as instructed. Upon arriving at the gymnasium, all the bullies, including those from the Super Alliance, were waiting for him. Zhang Siak got up and decided to head to the gymnasium. Shin Guyang Chio instructed them to attack, but nobody made a move, which made him panic. Zhang Siak punched him in the face, leaving everyone watching in astonishment. As he wondered why Du Park was not responding to the signal, Jian arrived and attempted to punch him. However, Jian skillfully dodged the blow and used his special move, the pickaxe, grabbing Shin Guyang Chio's hand and squeezing it tightly. When Shin Guyang Chio tried to use a knife, Dai Sang reminded him that weapons were prohibited in a one-on-one fight. Panicking, he dropped the knife after noticing that both of his friends had shaved their heads bald. Shin Guyang Chio claimed the fight was unfair because he had been punched by Zhang Siak. Jian then requested that he take a punch as well to level the playing field, shocking everyone. Zhang leapt onto Shin Guyang Chio, pinning him to the ground and delivering a series of punches. Zhang Siak intervened to stop him when Shin Guyang Chio lost consciousness. Jian then informed the remaining bullies that they were the next targets. Mayeonjun tried to explain himself to Jian, but he slapped his hand away, asserting that he would also go after the Super Alliance. As they were about to fight, Du Park urged both of them to calm down, explaining that the purpose of this was to welcome the Fire Bear Gang's successor. As they all left, Jae Sang congratulated the young master for his actions that day. As Jian and Zhang walked out, Zhang shared how he had expected to feel good after beating Shin Guyang Chio but didn't. Zhang Siak advised him to think about the direction he wanted to take. Du Park thanked Jae Sang and revealed that they were close friends from the judo club. Jae Sang then visited the unconscious Shin Guyang Chio and used his trusty razor to shave him completely. Curious about what comes next? Click on this video to continue. And don't forget to like and subscribe.